Thank you very much, Madam Rajavi, all of the distinguished guests. I am very, very honored to be here and very moved by the last half hour going through the really remarkable and shocking photographs of so many people. Senator Lieberman said when we were going through it, it's one thing to hear the names and the numbers. It's another thing to see all the faces. 120,000 of your people slaughtered starting decades ago, and some just a few months ago. So when you look at it, you see all the martyrs who've lost their lives because all they wanted was what we're entitled to as human beings: freedom, decent treatment, fair treatment. Their life was taken away from them. Some look like they were babies, 14, 20, 80. And it's not history. We walk through museums like Yad Vashem, and it's history. Horrible history, terrible history, something we still don't understand. Probably if we could understand it, maybe we could prevent it in the future. But still, it's history. It's over. Some of those people were murdered, less than a year ago. This is still going on. They're still murdering. They're still slaughtering. They're still endangering their own people. I believe they have to come to an end. I believe it's inevitable that they'll come to an end. That kind of oppression and authoritarian government always comes to an end. Human beings eventually, their desire for freedom and their desire for fair treatment wins out. Of course, we don't know exactly when, and until then, we're going to see more and more of that. So I think that we have to redouble our efforts. I think those of us who are friends of PMOI and MEK, I think we've done a lot. I think we can be very proud of what we've accomplished. There were times I know we were very frustrated that we couldn't do it fast enough because we knew the longer it took, the more people that would be killed, and that did happen. You look at the exhibit and you see if it were done in 2011 or 2012 or 2013, well, then all those people we see that were killed after would not have been killed. But it's the same thing now. There's something I feel very frustrated that we haven't accomplished. We haven't been able to get out to the rest of the world, including in my country, what a good, solid, remarkable, heroic, brave organization this is. How it's something we didn't have. Something we didn't have when the Arab Spring took down the government of Egypt. We had no alternative, and what do we get? We got the Muslim Brotherhood, didn't we? And look about Libya. We took down a neutered, weak, submissive dictator, and what did we get? Civil war, chaos. Well, here that's not the case. It was true then. I always wondered why this wasn't considered part of the Arab Spring, why the people of MEK weren't on the front page of Time magazine like the people who brought the Muslim Brotherhood to Egypt as defenders of freedom, fighters for freedom. Why weren't they? Because we haven't gotten the message above the cynical people, those people who think they're so smart they don't listen to others, and maybe some of the evil people who subscribe to the propaganda of Iran and the regime. But we're better than they are. We should be able to get this message out. I believe that if the citizens of my country could observe this, the 300+ million citizens, if Bob Torricelli and I can agree on it, this is like a 70% issue, Bob, right? 80%? How many Americans wouldn't be moved by walking through that hall, how many Americans wouldn't walk out there feeling exactly like I feel? This should have never have happened. How did we let it happen? Like we feel about other slaughters like this. But about this one, it's not just something we did wrong in the past. We could have prevented the Holocaust. We can't now. We can just learn from it. We can prevent this from continuing. We can prevent it from continuing by persuading, not being intimidated, making sure that people learn and find out about the alternative that exists, because there is an alternative to the theocracy, to the murder, to the slaughter. It's a government in exile. It's been here for a long time. It's gained a great deal of knowledge and sophistication over the years. It's gained a great deal of acceptance all throughout the world. And it would give us confidence that if we make those efforts to overthrow that horrible regime sooner rather than later, we will not only save lives, but we'll be able to entrust the transition of Iran to a very responsible group of people, not just one group, but the whole large number of people that are part of this coalition. I believe that's something that would very much accelerate the inevitable. And it's not very comforting to state the inevitable, which is it will happen someday. Because between now and someday, 100 lives, 1,000, 2,000, more. How will the Ayatollah react when the day comes when the choice is, well, I have to leave, or maybe if I just kill another 100,000 people, maybe I can subdue them. I don't know what choice he's going to make, but we shouldn't let it just happen inevitably. We should guide it, we should push it, we should be part of it. It's our responsibility. And lest we think this just affects Iranians, just think of how many of my own countrymen were killed by those animals. How many? In Iraq, throughout the world. They threatened to do murder in our country a year and a half ago. They threatened to do murder here when I was here with Madam Rajavi a year and a half ago. They sent 4 people here to bomb us. They sent 4 people to Paris to bomb us last year. Maybe one day they're going to accomplish that if we don't stop them. So I think our conference this year should focus on what can we do to accelerate this? How can we get the message out better than we have in the past that there's an organization waiting to guide Iran from despotism, barbarism, being a horrible problem throughout the world. We repeat, without even thinking about it, it's the biggest state sponsor of terrorism. What does that mean? The state sponsor of terrorism? And we let them sit in the UN? We actually talk to them like they're human beings? And they're the biggest state sponsor of terrorism? Somehow we don't equate these things, or some of our people don't. It's our job to equate them. It's our job to make sure this message gets out. And we have to hold ourselves responsible that we haven't done it as effectively as we should. We can. We have a great cause here. There's nothing better you can do with your life than to help liberate people. And I can't thank Madam Rajavi enough for allowing me to be part of this. It's probably the thing I'm proudest of. It's probably the thing my children are proudest of. And it's the thing that I'm just not going to stop. And it isn't just a slogan to me. I really want to see us in Tehran and have this meeting there. We've got to have it happen. We must have it happen. God bless you. And other people have been in the position wherein, you know, you keep trying and you fail, you keep trying and you fail, you keep trying and you fail. It's going to happen. But let's make it happen now rather than after another 100,000 deaths. Thank you, and God bless you.